Steak, chicken, eggs, canned soups, all kinds of fridge and pantry staple items that have best before dates. But the one thing that people don't understand is there is a huge difference between best before and expiry dates. What most people don't realize is there's only 5 types of products that actually have expiration dates. That consists of stuff like baby formula and other natural human milk substitutes, natural food supplements, meal replacements, pharmacy-sold foods, and formulated liquid diets. Expiration dates are very hard to come by when it comes to any stuff that you see within the grocery store. Your produce doesn't have an expiration date. It has a best before date. But people say, hey, it's only good for 3 days according to the grocery store, I gotta throw it out. Best before date is basically what guarantees the freshness of a product. Unopened, properly stored products, best before dates tell the consumer when the product is going to be at its maximum freshness before it starts to break down. Just because the product goes past the best before date doesn't mean it's garbage. You don't have to throw it out. But about 95% of the consumers out there think, hey, it's past that date, it's gotta go. People shouldn't fear the best before date. It's just constantly telling you how long the product's gonna be at its maximum freshness. It takes a lot longer after that for the protein itself to actually break down, so you end up losing your flavor. If it's not open, it's not gonna go bad until, like, say, 6-8 months down the road. If you buy a nice steak from the grocery store, comes in a package or 2, you only want to cook one up. Doesn't mean it's garbage. You wrap it up properly, you store it properly, you can freeze it up to a year and it's still good. But a lot of big name consumers like the grocery stores, like your Metros, your Costco's, and No Frills, they don't understand that once the product hits its best before date, you can donate that off. A lot of the stuff like your steaks, your proteins, stuff that a lot of these missions, soup kitchens, etc., they can benefit off of this stuff, mainly because it can be stored properly. Every one of these places has a trained professional or somebody who's been in the industry long enough to understand, hey, I can freeze this, or hey, I can use this. Just because it's 2 days past the best before date, everybody seems to throw it out. Donations could be made towards places like, for example, the Men's Mission of London, or the Ark in London, or any other city by far. Restaurants were absolutely horrible for when it comes down to it. A lot of your big name conglomerates franchises will give a 5-day maximum when it comes to your proteins, and then it's in the garbage whether it's still good or if it's gone bad. 9 times out of the 10, the product is still great. You're not going to use it. Give it to somebody else. The money that they're spending on this stuff, if they're donating it off, it's a tax write-off at the end of the day. They can just take the tally of what it costs them for that, submit it in, and bam, get a little bit of a government kickback. I've done it before. It works. The government actually praises stuff like that. I came back to London 5 years ago, and I've noticed a huge increase in the homeless population. We've had a huge increase, especially right down in the core area of downtown. If the government was more involved in this, we could make a huge dent into just being able to feed people. Not saying they're going to be able to decrease the amount of homeless populations, but the fact that we'll be able to provide fresher, healthier meals to these guys would be a huge help. If it's past its best before date and you choose not to use it, donate it before it goes in the garbage, then I think it's going to make a huge difference. We'll see.